Alright, who's this now? Artisan? Bakken. This brought us a potion bark skin. There you go, a little something from old Bakken. Again, make me something specific. I'll just have him work on potions for the time being. There's not really anything else that he makes that's really stellar. He makes a couple good rings, but we already got a couple good rings. Here's something else. Who's this now? Cheryl. The half-elf is clearly embarrassed to be in the palace. Greetings, Your Highness. Here, I brought you something. Manticore's Claws. Awesome. This is actually a very good upgrade for those of you that wanted to do a monk build. Like, not just a monk dip, like a monk proper. These allow you to do extra damage and better chance to swing by putting these gloves on if you're using unarmed attacks or natural weapons, but we're not doing natural weapons. So obviously this would be monk or, I guess, natural weapons. Who else would that be? Druid, perhaps? Let's make something specific again. This was Cheryl. Cheryl can make us... What do you like, Cheryl? Robes. Lots of robes. Good choices in robes. However, she also has good stuff in the new clothes category. You can get stuff like butterfly wings. Those are the gloves of badassness. Golden thread, hermit's rope, manticore's claws, which is what we just got. We could have her make us capes. Or him. Sorry. Make us capes. That includes the extra planar cloak, the herbalist cape, noxious veil, rogue companion, thaumaturge's cloak, warm embrace. Oh, Strigoid's embrace and cloak of chosen. Both of those are awesome. Let's do a sturdy cape. Yeah. Thank you, Cheryl. Anyone else? Oh, yeah. This Turval. Yeah, Turval. Okay, Turval has... Oh, notice this. Greeting, my king. I heard a rumor that Dagger Mark, my accursed homeland, is trying to sink its claws into your lands. Damn it. I'd like to make a contribution to assist you in this war against those spying bastards. Here, take this and put it to good use. Windfall. Boom. That was just a random gift. That's awesome. Hero at last. Okay, now what did we just pick up? Newest to oldest, everything. Inner demon. I don't even want that. Manticore's Claws. These gloves grant the wearer a +4 enhancement bonus to strength and +2 enhancement bonus on attack damage rolls with unarmed attacks and natural weapons, like I said. So again, a solid monk build, especially for a strength-based monk. Notice the Windfall. +1 luck on all attack rolls and saving throws. Now that's a little weird. But yesterday, I think I recall that I gave this to Reg and was pretty happy with that. Because Reg has this, which yes, that'd be a penalty to his con. 4 points lower, he'd be back to a 14. And he's okay with that. And yes, his 42 will go down to, but he doesn't have any luck bonuses right now, so this will go down to a 13, but it'll go back up to a 14 thanks to the luck bonus from this belt. And this went up and this went up, and that's the reason that that's important to me. Now also his better chance to swing because of the luck bonus here, Windfall. You see that? So again, a better chance for some variety of things that we want on him. Now I could give him the Manticore's gloves. Why the hell not? Matter of fact, even though he's not going to do unarmed attacks or natural weapons, it might work on his claw attack. Remember, he is draconic in nature, and as such he has the ability to form dragon claws and swipe with an offhanded attack. That might be applicable here. I don't care about that so much as I care about the +4 to his strength. Again, we don't have any strength gear on him right now, so this is our first upgrade for his strength from gear. So we don't need to cast a spell on him. And remember, as the general, strength is his main stat for the general. So the higher this number, the better he is at passing his checks. So this +10 is definitely a step in the right direction, you see. So I'm cool with that.
Skills are absolute.
Let's go over here to Jod and sell off the ring I don't care about. Alright. Yeah, I don't think we even want that anymore either, so let's just sell it. Get some money back. Let's check our kitty over here, make sure we don't have stuff. Yeah, okay, now that the team's back together, we can put these things back in our pack. Before we go anywhere, I would want to check in here. And again, like I said, we have to go deal with Nok Nok, but it's only a minor thing, and I do want to turn these on. I almost forgot to do that. So 61, I'm okay with that. 70, that's fine. 55, and that's rough, man. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this before. I think I did. But you get more crisis points every time you rank someone's stat up. You get another point. I don't think there's any other way to do it. But this is a solid way then for you to rank up, or want to rank up, because those come in super handy. So you know what, since we're doing a lot, why don't we bump it up so we don't have to worry quite so much. Well, it's just an opportunity. We'll come back to it. Hold on a second. He's at 85. That's good. Okay. So these guys are done in a variety of days. 7, 13, 13, and 13. His is done in 13. So yeah, screw it. There's a lot of stuff's going to turn in at the same time. Let's give him the extra coin to make sure he has a real good chance of doing that. Now, when we go do this thing with Nok Nok, come back, we'll probably jump the clock ahead another 14 days or so. Maybe 7. We'll see. But at the very least, it'll make sense when we get back and see how much time is on the clock for all those other guys. Leave. As far as the team, Nok Nok is busy, so he knows he's not in the list. He's at the location. So we might as well just bring whoever the hell we want at this point. So I like to bring people that I know would give Nok Nok shit. They don't actually say anything, which is a damn shame, because I thought for sure that some of these guys actually would be pretty goddamn mouthy to Nok Nok, or at least say something cute. And it's a little weird that none of them do. Yeah, sure. We're not going to get in a fight unless it's on the overland map, so I'm not really worried about who we bring. But I never like going alone. This is the statues that he has made for us to prove that he's a hero. And that's the funny thing. It's in the same exact spot that he was not too long ago. Quick save on the way out the door. Alright, so here we are. We enter the Goblin Clearing. And what you got to say for yourself? Knock, knock. What you got to say? Him and all his little goblin buddies are hanging around the statues.
I'm there.
You are there, huh? Well, okay. Nok Nok is standing proudly regarding the statues before you. The statues are strangely ghastly and majestic at the same time. Two figures fashioned from cobbled bits of stone, wood, and something that might be either mud, plaster, or, judging by the smell, something from the cistern. The statue on the right looks vaguely like a giant version of Nok Nok. And the other looks to be something, maybe a human, but it is of equal height to the figure on the left. Broken glass from what you strongly suspect might have been a castle window rings the human figure's head like a crown. So that's supposed to be me, I'm guessing. But he's also the same fucking... Look at the size of that head, man. Good job, Nok Nok. As you study the two odd-looking statues, Nok Nok notices you and smiles. You built a statue of yourself right near the city? Nok Nok shakes his head and snorts. No, look harder, he frowns. Harder. See? With a flourish, Nok Nok points to the twisted mass of junk. Two heroes. Me, big hero, he nods at one of the figure. With other, smaller big hero, he nods to the ramshackle crown figure on the right, towering the same size as Nok Nok's statue. You, both of us heroes, together, he nods, then continues as if self-evident. All heroes have statues, but no inscriptions, words. He shudders and makes a semicircle in the air as if to ward off evil. I like it. Nok Nok nods proudly. Of course you like it. It's perfect. He appraises the two statues, judging them side by side. Even got height right. Wait, you actually think? Never mind. Nok Nok suddenly turns to you, mimicking what you suddenly realize is the pose the statues are in. Ready to stab, just blink away. Two heroes against big beasts of the stolen lands. He pauses, then leans in. But you handle a bigger beast. Nok Nok watch. Bunch of XP. It's perfect. Nok Nok be true hero. This be King Nok Nok meeting other king. You happy Nok Nok allows you travel with him. King Nok Nok. Good job. So strong. Good king. King Nok Nok kicking me once. Jeez. Okay. Good job, Nok Nok. And that's the story of Nok Nok. That is literally the best ending I think you can get for Nok Nok, making him a hero. And like I said, I'm pretty cool with that. If I ever did like an evil playthrough, I'd probably go the other route and make him the jester. But I can't do that to my little buddy. Because he's awesome. Head to the throne room. Okay. So what to do from here? Sounds like it's more time to rank up stuff. Alright. Let's check our little cubby hole here first. Make sure no one dropped off anything. Doesn't look like it. Is there anything we had to sell? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so then over here to Betchawana land. Come on, Betchawana. Let's see, what are we going to do from here? 12 days now. Okay, so again, a 14-day rank up would put this at 27 days. See that? Still have time at the end of the month for anything else that might crop up, and everybody's turning in stuff. Notice we don't have anyone on curses, so that might be something of merit. The only thing we would do that's not a curse then, or that wouldn't allow us to do a curse, is if we were going to rank up the arcane to a 5. And I'm not adverse to that. I do not like these other ones being down here in the 3s, though. I did this yesterday, and I did the arcane to 5, and was happy with my choice. But, like military to 4, or culture or espionage, if we could. I think espionage we can't. But culture to 4 wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Now let's look at our list. See if there's anything that would pop out at a 4 or a 5. Okay? Let's see. Bakken wants an arcane of 4. We have that already. He wants a loyalty of 3 or 6. We already have it at a 4, so we're doing good there. Military, 8 for dragon, stability, 5, 6, 7. Wow. Stability. That's a little trippy. But we already got 5 on that. But military to an 8. We really need to get military up then to make him happy. And I don't really care about... I mean, I like the onslaught armor, but I'm never going to use it. I'm a goddamn swordsman. I go around butt-ass naked. Faraz wants espionage to 5, but that's not going to happen. Military to 6. There's another military upgrade. Okay. 6 or 9. Shania wants economy to an 8. We were not doing economy because Jubilost, I believe, is one of the people that's busy. Oh, he's not. Oh. Hey, now. You're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. I could get economy up to a 6, and that's not the worst idea ever. Not only will that be guaranteed extra money, which of course all these would be, anything though that exceeds economy would be a problem. See that? So again, getting this to a 6 means that anything then I can bring up to a 6 if I need to. And that's not the worst idea ever. So we'll think about that. Relations to a 4 also makes them happy. And we got that already. Okay, now on the other list for Mim, she likes culture to be a 6. That's not going to happen. Econ to a 5 or an 8. And we're working in that direction if we make economy up a 6. That's not the worst idea ever. Turval likes espionage to be a 3 or an 8, so we got it to a 3 at least. Arlene likes arcane to be a 6. And again, I don't want to do that until I get espionage to a 6, but arcane is lounging at a 4. So this is my chance again to put arcane up. And I might want to do that. Now that I think about that, let's actually do that. And the reason I say that is this. If we put her on a curse, she's going to be tied up for like 45 to 60 days. That's not going to allow her... that won't allow her the time to rank up again for that time, for 45 to 60 days, or 90 days. So again, get her ranks up while you can is my idea here. Same with Jod. It's one of those things. Now, is there anything else we can be doing? Regions, no, because remember, they required me being involved. Other, though... No. Nope. Not curses, because again, those people will be busy. No training. Economy. We could do restoration of the bronze shield. Might be a bad idea, because again, in 27 days, will be when we do the 14-day jump, it'll be at the 27th. There might be a chance where only Jubilos can solve a problem. So I'd leery to do something that takes that long. But we're never going to get these things done if we keep doing that. Maybe I really do need to think about putting me on something. Restoration of the Silver Shield Fortress. Bonus to military instability, no less. Customs. Ooh, here we go. +2 is bonus to solving any problems with the treasurer. Ooh. 14 days to solve it, no less. Perfect. Well, all right. Quick save on that mess. Let's do it. Get it, kid. Now we're turning in everybody's quest, so it's going to be probably some serious scum saving here. Nothing we can do about that other than just to keep doing it. But I had everyone up at a reasonably decent level, so hopefully we got a lot of luck here. Arcane 5, as you can see here, and again giving us 5 BP a week, and again that makes someone else on our list of artisans happy. Failure. As soon as I see a failure, you might as well just skip right back to your earlier save, because we're not going to allow any. There's no reason to look at any of them then, in my opinion. Now, notice again that he is available on customs, and all these people are turning in theirs as well. And again, we're turning in then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things here, and the rank up and this. So we got quite a few things that we're actually turning in here. Come on, guys. Get your act together. I don't want to be here for 20 minutes like I was yesterday. Okay, that's always going to be a success, though. There we go. The Grey Rebellion. Notice that we are stable. By the way, if you're keeping an eye on that, it was unstable or whatever the hell it was categorized as, worried or some shit. If you see after you press the start button with her, you see it immediately go to stable, or almost immediately go to stable, then you know that he passes this. Because this is the only way to make it go back up, or at least in this case, to go back up. The rebellion was suppressed with force. Many locals lost their lives, along with Davra the Grey and his gang. +7 to community loyalties went down, but again, that's probably because of the lives. Military went up, and stability went up. Success on the wise man. A scientist accepted the advisor's offer to aid the kingdom. His work will surely promote the magical arts in these lands. +3 to arcane and culture. Nice job, storyteller. Success again. Ooh, wow, 10. The Sentinel. At first, new clockwork comrade in arms startled many of our guards, but it was sent to do the most dangerous task and proved itself well, showing both vigilance and readiness to put itself at risk for its comrades. It has already saved the lives of many guards, and they've accepted it into their ranks. Stability +10. Woot. It's a massive jump. Jesus, stability is freaking crushing divine and arcane already, and relations. Wow. Nice work, man. Triumph. Poltergeist in the temple. The high priest communed with the poltergeist and used its knowledge to solve an old murder. The ghost was satisfied and left this world forever. The high priest personally conducted the following service in the temple to a full congregation. Show off. +2 to loyalty, +3 to divine. Triumph. Spider invasion. In half a day, this weep organized by the servants of the crown cleared the woods of the disgusting beast. +3 to community. Good job, Val. Success. The project is complete. So again, the treasure is going to have a +2. Very nice. Yeah. That was beautiful. The only reason that probably worked was because I gave that one guy 2 coins instead of 1. Because when I did this the other day, I left him at the 61%, or someone similar to the 61%, and there was always someone failing something. I was just bouncing it back and forth, and man, that was a pain in the ass. So now we have a chance to strengthen the storyteller skills as the Magister. Again, he's not the Magister. There's no reason to do that. Rank up. Support the Regent's endeavors. Putting community from a 5 to a 6, but obviously that's a bad idea. Events. Magister wants to talk with us. Illicit hunters. 100% success rate, like that. What's this? Artisan's loss. Happy to do that. Artist freedom. Give him a coin to do that, so it's a better chance of it passing. And you got 100. You got an 85. Okay, I feel good about that. Quick save before we start those and talk with the Magister. So it's going to be another, we have this problem, solve it, and support my endeavors. I wonder what we got, though. I did this yesterday, I just can't remember. It might be a random event. Amazing impudent Philidor. I have been approached by a wizard from Next who has learned to create golems from piles of literal junk, splinters of wood, rusty nails, broken furniture. He asked your permission to set up shop in the capital and start selling these junk golems. In return, he promises to provide us with a few of his finer creations. Now, you may find this surprising, but I am convinced that we must reject his proposal. She's a junk snob. Do you know how golems are created? The mage must ensnare a living spirit from one of the elemental planes, most typically an earth elemental, and bind it to the construct. This means that golems are no better than slaves. Oh, well, you've won my heart right there, kid. No, we're not doing it. After all, elemental spirits are living, sentient beings. The mage even brags that his golems never go out of control, as if total domination of a spirit makes the whole thing any less cruel. Oh, okay, let's see what it gives us, though. He has my permission, which means we get Eternal Guardians and an Arcane +4. I don't know, man. Eternal's kind of good. What's the other one? Community 1, Loyalty 1, Economy 1, Arcane -4. I don't know, Octavia. Oh, man. If it weren't for the fact that it's a project, I wouldn't even entertain the idea. Okay? The fact that it's an Arcane +4 is a nice bump. We need more Arcane. These other ones here, the Community, Loyalty, and Economy, are nice, but those are already good stat numbers that we have right now. Anyway, Arcane taking a 4-point hit, again, it's not going to be the end of the world, but it still sucks, and it doesn't give us anything, technically. Why do I say technically? Because it specifically doesn't say it. But there's been multiple times yesterday, anyway, and I did not have this show up yesterday. There have been multiple times yesterday when I picked this, or something like this, where it didn't say there's this extra project waiting for you, and it literally was a project waiting for me. So there's this and then something else. There wasn't something else, though. Perfect. It will be my pleasure to get rid of this crook. I don't know if I want to do that. I might go back to the earlier save. Here comes our artisans, though. Chemo, Shady Longbow. It's ready. I brought you something. Thank you, Chemo. Make me something specific. Okay, Chemo. Where are you at? Aha. Second page. Chemo is good at making fighting stabs, wooden shields, different quivers, and bows, like a lot of bows. Let's actually have him make us another bow. I will do it. Now, he just brought us one, by the way. Now, let's look at that little goober. That's this guy, the Shady Longbow. It's a +3 composite longbow with a luck bonus to stealth and the ability to cast invisibility twice a day. It's a 5th level wizard. That's 5 minutes of invisibility twice. But remember, the moment you attack or do any kind of an attack spell, poof, the invisibility's off you. Now, you might be able to get a sneak attack off of that, that was the point. Now, I would happily give it to her, but she's a short bow person. She is a half-elf, and for whatever reason, she can only use short bows. I don't know what that's about, because I thought all elves, well, maybe it's because she is a half-elf. That's got to be it. I'll say, because I thought all elves had the ability to use longbows. So she's because she's a half-elf. No one else can use it. She could, but she's got the speed composite longbow, and I'd rather her have an extra attack. He could use it, but he doesn't really use bows anyway. Not that his dex is crap, but he doesn't have the point-blank shot or precise shot or any of that fun stuff to go with it. And he's not really a stealth guy. Nok Nok, I don't think at all he'd use it. Oh, he can use it. Oh my god. Wow, he doesn't even need point-blank shot or precise shot with a +9 to the swing. Huh. You know what? You convinced me, Nok Nok. Maybe every once in a while I'll need you to be a bow guy. Notice we got a rank up, and I didn't even notice that either. This happened yesterday, though, too, and I forgot about it, so let's do it. Remember, she's going purist for Eldritch Scoundrel. And the reasoning for that is, for those of you that are like, oh, Arcane Trickster is so much better. Yes, it is, and it isn't. Why do I say isn't? Because they would never get these 3 things. And this is important. After this, you want at least 1, if not all 3. Why would I not just stop here at 12? Well, look at Arcane Trickster. If I went 12 with the other guy, I can only do 8 of Arcane Trickster. Where's all the cool shit for Arcane Trickster? Really, it's here at level 9 and 10. So while I could say, well, maybe I don't want to go all the way to 10, but at least you'd want to go to level 9 to get Invisible Thief and to get your last impromptu sneak attack. So I can't justify it. So that's why we're staying as a purist. Because I really wanted this one, and then since I've already made that decision, it's a good decision to keep these other 2 rogue counts. Skill rank. Invest in all the cool stuff. And might as well just keep going with persuasion. Or use magic device, excuse me. It's time for new spells. Is it a new spell level? No. Greater 2-weapon fighting. Solid choice. Notice also for her, another choice is double slice. Double slice is the one where if you're using agile weapons, or in her case, the agile or finesse training from daggers or rapiers in her hands, and of course this one that's going to come way the hell down here too, then you get to use your dex modifier. Well, double slice, literally when you're 2-weapon wielding, you only get half your strength, or in this case dex modifier, for your damage. So a plus, say 6, let's just say. A plus 6 to your damage, or total, with this, could be only a plus 3 with your offhand if you don't have this. And while that doesn't sound amazing, it's extra damage. And again, I feel like I want it. But having said that, I want the extra attack more. Notice it's our first chance to get this because of a BAB restriction and a dex restriction, of course, as well. And I'm happy to do that because, again, that gives me 3 attacks in my offhand and then eventually probably 3 attacks in my main hand. And that's a solid swing. So I can get literally 6 attacks off, and every last one of those are sneak attacks. And if I got a haste spell on me or a speed weapon in one of my hands, then we're talking I'm not only getting 6 attacks, I'm getting 7 or 8 attacks off in a combat round, melee style, that are all sneak attack applicable. That's definitely worth more than just another plus 3 to your damage every swing. But again, we will get that other one, the double slice, but later, probably much later. Alright, spell time. We'll go through my list here. I want constricting coils. Now why? You may say, I have icy prison. Why would you want constricting coils? Well, constricting coils is a will save. Icy prison is a reflex save. 2 different categories, and one's an enchantment and one's an evocation spell. So you have something that buffs your enchantments, this one's better. You have something that buffs your evocation, this one's better. Something that buffs your cold damage DC check, this is a cold spell. So again, if you have something that affects mind effects or compulsions, that's this one. Notice that this one is not a mind effect or a compulsion. So if you got guys that are immune to your constricting coils because they're immune to mind affecting spells, that includes this. Don't include that one. That's why I like to have both. For the other one, I will grab Overwhelming Grief. Why this one? One, it's a weird spell and I don't see it in the list anywhere for spells that I can scribe lately. So I want to pick it up now. But it basically screws over the bad guy for armor, and it lowers their dexterity where they lose any of their bonus. That means they are flat-footed. They lose their dex bonus. This literally allows you to set up sneak attack for 1 target. That's pretty cool. And again, there's a new save each round, so there's always that save or suck component to it. But again, as long as you're good at it and you're hitting someone that has crappy will saves, like fighters, sneak attack, sneak attack, sneak attack. Alright. Let's go over here just to make sure there's not something. Nope. Thank you, piss off. So I want to make sure no one dropped off anything while we were in Communicado. Arcane +1. New rank up for the Magister again. And again, I won't do it while economy's at a 5. Well, that would be one that, and I will take that back. Divine going to 6 or Arcane going to 6 before economy would not bother me. Yes, we'd lose out on a little more BP a week. It's only 1 extra goddamn point. And eventually we will get economy up to a 6, so I'm not worried about that. I would put these 2 6s earlier, simply because, again, both those are the people that work on curses. And while they're in curse mode, they literally have nothing better to do. So, here is our chance to literally put someone again back on a curse. First, let's get these guys on their tasks. So don't forget, save that mess. Pop open my journal. Is there anything going on? Let's check our curse. 54 days. We're almost about where I was yesterday. About a month away. So, are we doing a region upgrade for 7 days? We do Aristel's Holy Place. Remember, I wanted this one for a while now. And Aristotel's holy place is someone's favorite thing. That's Chemo's favorite thing. That's the person that makes us all our badass bows. And more than just Chemo, who was the other one that wanted Aristotle? There's two people in the same kingdom, same part of our kingdom. Nope. Nope. Cheryl, the one that makes our clothes. Pip. Okay. So again, I don't mind this. It'll burn 7 days, but on that, then shouldn't we do a curse? Well, this is the part where I can't tell you. I could do one. It'll burn up 60 days. Now, pay attention to this part. This part sucks. The calendar months for these guys is roughly like our calendars. So this is January, technically speaking, though it's not called that. The next month is their February, and as such, it's only like 28 days, not 30, not 31. So, if I start a 60-day thing, think about that for when you're starting this. That'll mean she's busy this month, busy all next month, and I think she'll be busy all the month after for the next one, except for like maybe 1 or 2 days. And that's only because this month lasts longer than 27 or 28 days. So that's the only real reason that the 60 days will be burnt up slightly before March, their version of March. So that's not the worst choice, is my point, but I'd rather she go on something that's 45. Why? Because again, it's more likely that in March it'll be available for 1, maybe 2 things. And again, it's a big maybe. So because it's such a big maybe, I do hard saves here. If I find out that I'm going to need her for something else and I'm screwing the pooch by doing this, then I literally do this and I say pre-curse. Okay? So that I know I have not officially said yes to this part. Okay? Now I'm available to do the region upgrade for 7 days. And again, he's the other person that does curses, but because he's going to be tied up with me for those 7 days, unless something happens before the end of the month where he or Octavia is desperately needed, or anyone else for that matter is desperately needed, we'll be fine. He'll be available again in February. So, let's try it. We have an event. Hopefully we didn't screw anything up. Jublos wants to talk to us. Looks like we're okay. Region. Nice. Looking good. We're looking good. Okay, let's do a quick save here. And then again, we can do like either another 7 days or another 14-day jump, rank someone else up, which we'll probably end up doing here. What does Jublos want to talk about? I think I know. This is another road trip for us. Now, what's up, Jujubi? You do remember our little adventure with the Fey Lords and their inconsequent debates, damn them. Before you asked, by damn them, I meant both the debates and the Lords. Anyway, I've been thinking about that dreadful verbiage we received as a reward for the trials. The answer to the question about the fate of the gnome race. Allow me to remind you of the text. Numbers will help you on your way. One of them is 5th in 10. It will be easy to find if you read who opened the road for the ancient dead man and his black-feathered messenger. The second is 12 times in 12, and is thrice the number of those who lost their faces. Don't try to guess it now, it's not yet time. Wait until he who is born twice will twice be defeated. Put the 2 numbers together. When the moon leaves her path, near the waters of Candlemere, find the one who will open the secret. Not a single reasonable creature would spend valuable time solving this sort of phrase, Mince. If only someone knew how much effort it required to treat the matter seriously, but it paid off. It's obvious that the part about open the road for the ancient dead man and his black-feathered messenger refers to Willis Gunderson, who awakened Vorticai. This guess led me to think, obviously, that part about he who was born twice will twice be defeated referred to Armagh. Exactly. We couldn't have known that at the time of the debates because we hadn't even met Armagh yet, which makes me wonder who this respected host might be, but that's neither here nor there. So what do we know now? The riddle recommends we start looking after the twice born is twice defeated, and that's happened. The other part, thrice the number of those who lost their faces, that's also only clear now. It's 24, 3 times the number of the defaced sisters there were. But the rest, what does it mean? When the moon leaves her path, and how does a dozen times in a dozen equate to 24? I'll have to study some astronomy reference books and write to some priest of Desna that I'm acquainted with. It's probably about some rare celestial phenomenon. I meant to ask you to deal with the first part of the riddle, the one about Willis Gunderson. Remember the riddle? We don't need to find him or talk to him, just read him. Here's what I think it means. I discovered that the poor fellow wrote and published a few horrendous books. Perhaps the answer is hidden in one of them. The very thought of digging through that parody of literature is disgusting. I'd very much appreciate, yes, appreciate some help. Perhaps some book lover in this city will have a volume or two of his work. Intelligence check passed. Do you think a dozen times in a dozen is about something that happens every month? There's a 24th day in every month, and there are 12 of them in a year. Jubilos looks at you with suspicion. Everything can't be that simple, or can it? With the Fae, you never know. Well, it's a good guess, but it still doesn't spare us the need to look at the dreadful books. All right, I will look for Gunderson's books and try to make some sense of them. Good luck on this difficult quest. I remind you, the riddle says we need to find something 5th in 10 and somehow related to Gunderson's writing. We put it together with the number 24 and go to the Candlemere when the moon leaves her path. I hope this isn't some elaborate Fae prank, because if it is, I won't have to do any more research to understand what made the gnomes leave the first world. It was the stinking neighbors. Awesome. Okay, so this is our quest with Jubilos. Remember, he was always trying to find out what's going on with the Fae. Why did the gnomes leave the Fae world, or whatever the hell they call it? And as a result, they are suffering the bleaching. Okay, I just wanted to clear this part real quick. Quick save. And now we go out to our kingdom to find the book. Now, I did this the last time. Not yesterday. The last time I played this level up. I somehow managed to do it and succeed without doing it correctly. So let me show you how we do it correctly. Now, of course, you're looking for books, and there's, of course, people everywhere in your kingdom. And specifically in your main square, you have access to a variety of vendors. One of which is, I think, Lindsay's friend that sells books. But she doesn't have the one you're looking for, I don't think. Though people I talked to, and I went to the library, and somehow I managed to get enough information to make this progress the last time I did this part of the quest. But I have since found online, through that magic thing called Google, the ability to solve this puzzle lies in talking to one of your vendors in particular. And that vendor, who I skipped right by, if you ever talk to him, he tells you he's an avid reader. Way back in chapter goddamn 2, he tells you this shit like you're going to remember this later on. So, it's this guy here, Verdal. Verdal, the armor smith, who you never talk or sell to, has books for Willis Gunderson. So tell me, do you have any books by Willis Gunderson? It's like you're interrogating me. Of course I do. Everyone says he's bad, but I like him. The guy writes with feeling. I mean, used to write. Does the phrase 5th in 10 mean anything to you? Is this about Gunderson? He has a book titled 10 Adventures. It's some of his best work. Can I borrow these books? Of course, read away. Valor and Honor, 10 Adventures of the Splendid Willis Gunderson in Absalom. Bunch of XP. Have to go. Peace out. Now, all you have to do is go talk to Juby, and he's actually outside here. Jubilos raises his head and closes his notebook. Ah, it's you. How can I help you? I found Gunderson's book, the one we were looking for. Let me see. Jubilos stares into the pages. It's a good thing I'm not a follower of Shellen, or I'd throw this thing into the fire right now and draw the deity's wrath. Just look at this language. Shivering, she climbed to my shoulder and whispered, Willis, you are my only hope. Only your well-developed adventuring skills, your daring mind, merciless eloquence, and shameless courage can save a poor girl like me. Not to mention your boundless wit. Clearing out of your tired boy. Gained 1440 XP for that. But I digress. We need something that's 5th in 10. Obviously, it's about the 5th adventure from this book. The name of the chapter is In the Corner of the Tavern. Sounds like a place, but which tavern is it? The nearest one? And who or what should we look for? There. Wait. We know the place, the tavern, and a number, 24. You reasonably assume that 24 is the day of the month. We have a time and a place. I propose we meet at the Capital Tavern on the next 24th and see what happens. All right. And that's how we progress that story arc. Now, notice that. Again, that's region upgrade. No, it's not under errands, I don't think. Hero at Last. That's Goblin. One for Nok Nok. It's got to be under our companion quest. Yeah. Door to Nowhere. Meet Jubilos at the tavern on the 24th. So literally, if you go by the month you're on here, we have 21 days.
I'm there.
So literally, perfect opportunity for us to skip 14 days in 7 days, wouldn't you say? Perfect timing. Boom. We are awesome. Okay. So, upon doing both of those upgrades that we're about to talk about, we actually will be doing pretty good for ourselves. As far as the curse is concerned, though, where does that sit? 21 days. There'll be 26 days left and change. Okay, so we won't be quite up on the curse yet. And I did this one yesterday as well. So we're getting real close to being where I was before. Now, what to do first? The 7 or the 14? Let's look at the 7s, I suppose, first. Seven would put us at the 10th day. No, I think I want to do the 14. Because by the 17th... Well, let's look at the 7. Hard save, or we'll hard save it here. Quick save, of course, first. There we are. Now, if we can do any of these. Trading ground... Bread and Circuses, Magic of the Abandoned Keep, Guard Headquarters. Okay, this would be the one I'd want to do. Notice, by the way, when we did that last one, the Aristil's resting place, the other one disappeared. Remember, there was 2 in that category, and the other one was something we could have done as well. So who was Aristil's? Hold on, let me find that for you. It was Royal Hunting Ground. No, we already did the Royal Hunting Grounds. But something has fallen off our list because there's no way we only have 4 left here. But I'd love to get that Guard Headquarters, and if we do a 14-day jump, he'll be available. So that might be the next upgrade for us. So let's see. What do we want to rank up, or what can we rank up? Military. Nope. Jubilost again. Don't mind that. Divine, again, I don't mind it going to a 6. Loyalty could go to a 5. Relations could go to a 5. Community's busy. Arcane's busy. And we are on him. So this is our choices. We have military, economy. We have divine, our high priest, divine. Our loyalty, going to 5. And Lindsay, our relations, going to 5. So we have a lot of different choices here. Military is the only one on that list that is a 3. So maybe it's the one we really should get up so that it could be a 4. But notice his number, by the way. He's at a 16. Part of that reason he's at a 16 is those gloves we gave him. Otherwise, he'd be at a 14. Remember, his strength is part of his stat. So his leader bonus, that plus 10, that's coming from his retardedly high strength. He has a strength of 30 right now. That's a plus 10 bonus. That's why you see leader bonus plus 10. Without those gloves, he would be down to a plus 8 there. So it'd be a 14 instead of 16. So he's actually not doing that bad. It's quite easy to get him up higher, higher, higher. Just find him better strength belts. But, not the point. Who do we want? Well, let's think. We have a variety of people. And Nazriel is one of my faves, as we know. Population and relations. Relations, is that Lindsay? I think it is. Relations needs to get to 6 for her to be happy. I don't mind that idea. Bakken. He wants Arcane 4, which we have already, and Loyalty 3. Oh, okay. He wants Loyalty to get to 6. So again, if we want to get Bakken's magical potion of awesomeness, we need to probably get that potion, or the Loyalty up to 6 as soon as possible. That's Tristan. Tristan's floundering right now at a plus 12. So maybe it's time for Tristan to soar a little bit. Sorry, Reg. You're just too strong, bro. If you weren't quite so strong, I would totally rank you up right now. And like I said, I would love to do Jod right now, too, if it weren't for the fact that I'm going to be probably needing him on curses here before too long. She is crushing hers, though. 38 days. All right. So save that. Start it. Notice all the events that just popped up. We didn't have that many people busy, so we're going to have lots of events to work on. Loyalty, reach rank 5. Triumph. Let's see, regents, servants explain to the hunters that illegal hunting drives their forced animals away forever, which is bad for everyone. The poachers understood and obeyed, and the people are grateful to the authorities for solving the problem mercifully and without violence. Cool, Valerie. +4 to community, +1 to stability. Nicely done, man. Triumph. The artisan's lost. The warden offered the artisan all the resources he'd require to recreate the masterpiece. A few days later, the master repeated his success and disclosed the secrets of its creation to his colleagues, who immediately applied this knowledge to their work. Oh, what was this? The artisan's lost. The same talented artisan that had taken up residence in the kingdom distinguished themselves again with another masterpiece. Alas, some scoundrels robbed the workshop and stole the precious work. The artisan demands justice. Stability +3. Nice. Success and artist freedom. It's hard to say whether the curator's lavish gift changed the young artist's mind, but there are no unflattering portraits of the king or any other such rebellious material to be seen on the new temple mosaics. Culture +3. Nice. Well, all right. Got all kinds of crap here to deal with, though. Just looking to see if there's anything that, there you go, that's only one person can do. I want to check those out first. Counselor, oh wait. Okay, now, why am I checking these ones first? Now, one, to see if they can be done in the time frame of this month. 13 days, that's 20, that's 30. There's only 28 days in this month, remember? So he cannot do this in something else, unless that something else is less than 13 days. 13, 13, 13, 13, 13. Seeing a pattern? So, we have to cover all our bases with these people where they're at and fill in the gaps with other people. Can we do that? Chad has to be on that one. Tristan or Reg can do this one. Valerie can do that one. We are okay. Having said that, this could be a problem. I'm going to do another hard save here, and we're going to call this before advisors placed. So that literally I'm not saying yes, do this, because we have to go back in time, and Valerie's going to be needed in a couple days or something to do something only she can do. We may have to hold off on some of these things. But before we do any of that, quick save to the throne. Now, what you got to say for yourself? Give me an artisan. I just ranked somebody up. That would be really nice if an artisan came by and gave me a gift. What's up? Tristan, Dora, the situation has become rather fraught. A group of mercenaries arrived in our lands to seek a better future. They've banded together for safety. Some have been hired by our merchants as bodyguards. Alas, their manners are low and the locals are prejudiced against them. They fight more and more often. The peasants want us to banish the mercenaries from the city. The merchants expect us to protect them, regardless of the peasants' complaints. If you ask me, we mustn't surrender to hatred. This matter should be resolved peacefully. Draw the treasury from the treasury to finance more guards. They'll put an end to these clashes. Nothing going to change if we simply choose sides. We must mediate, though this takes money and a will for peace. So, we can throw the mercenaries out of the capital. They're making trouble, so they have to go. That'll piss off the merchants. So economy goes down, stability goes up. But economy can take it, just to be clear. Here's the one that he wants us to do, where we literally finance more guards from the treasury. Notice that it takes our BP down 100 points. But we have enough. I'm not worried about that. Economy goes up 3, stability goes up as well. So again, a win-win across the board. The other one, send our citizens the message that these mercenaries are under our protection. So stability goes down and economy goes up because we're siding with the merchants. So I'm clearly going to do this one. Whatever money we spend on new guards, it will be worth it if it prevents any more blood from being spilled. Notice, support the counselor's endeavors as well. Remember, you needed that 100 BP in your kitty. If that wasn't in there when you did this, you would be at a bad state right now. Here's Dragon. Dragon bows from waist and addresses you ceremoniously. Greetings, your highness. By tradition, if a worthy ruler is a patron to a master, The master gives generously in return. I have come to honor this tradition. Please accept this. I worked hard on it. I hope it serves you well. Ironclad Will. If you have any requests or needs, feel free to tell me. Otherwise, please allow me to devote my time to Onslaught. I'm itching to finish what I've begun and restore my things. Alright, something from him. Do a one-handed axe just because. Will do. It will be heavy enough to split open a suit of armor, but light enough that you won't get tired of holding it. Thanks, buddy. And Dragon's one-handed axes, by the way, so we're clear on this. What falls under that category? Lava Forged axe might be in that category. Mim. Oh, hell yeah, she got me the hat I want. Okay, Mim Wobblegainer. This is the jewelry person over in Silver Lake. The goldsmith's face shines. Your Highness, please accept this humble gift as a token of my deep affection, respect, blah, 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 so whatever. Give me my hat. Frozen Shout. Want to order something specific from you? Okay, Mim. Mim is awesome at hats, but the hat was under a specific category. It was actually under the headband category because you wear it on your head, but it's a big, obvious wizard hat. She can also make us a burning amulet, which we already have, life veil amulet, which we already have, amulet for elements, which we already have from her, 2 different rings, a Colossus ring and a sealed ring. I think we got the Colossus ring once already. Source of invisibility, which is another ring, and of course the masterpiece item of hers is the a ring called the Great Dreamer's Smile. So I'm going to put her on rings right now. Alright, I think I have a draft somewhere. Peace out. Okay. Love to get her to make that masterpiece item. That ring is Maze Balls. That's the one, the Great Dreamer's Smile, that's like a massive luck bonus to all kinds of shit. But it's also... oops, we got something else. It's also a... makes you immune to curses, which is pretty damn baller in my mind. Now, notice we just picked up a few things. Newest oldest. One of them was a Psy +2, just a random gift. Here you go. We're clearly going to sell that. But look at the cool stuff we got. So here's our Ironclad Will. This is a morale bonus to will saving throws, +4, no less, and a +4 heavy shield besides, so it's a +6 armor. This is something I'll give to Harem. So let's actually do so. Swap him out for this Protector of Unjust. Now notice the Protector of Unjust gives him bonuses to his saving throws across the board, 2, 2, and 2. So this is good, but not great. This went up 2, this went down 2, and this went down 2. But as soon as I get him something that gives him some charisma, so I don't have to use this cloak anymore, I can give him a resistance cloak to bump all of these back up again, and that's to his benefit. Plus it looks tits, man. Look at it, matches his armor, man. You know you want that shit. And it looks cool. Now, as for the hat, I could give that to, say, her. This is the Frozen Shout hat. I'm trying to think of who I gave it to yesterday. Maybe I didn't give it to anybody. I could give it to her, but then she loses her intelligence. But this hat, for those of you that don't know, this is the one that literally allows you to not only cast Cone of Cold once a day. It's an 11 level wizard. That's 11d6 of damage, and a massive cone. The thing is fucking huge. But anything with a cold descriptor for a spell does an extra point of damage per die rolled, which is no big deal per se. But remember, we also have this kick-ass fucking necklace that does that for fire, electric, cold, and acid. This stacks with the hat. So, if it's a cold spell, it's 2 extra points of damage per die. This is why this is cool. And one of the magic robes that we're trying to get from our tailor is their masterwork item. And that robe will do the same thing as that necklace we just saw, as far as the +4 to those 4 elements, or +1 to those 4 elements. But it also gives you like a +4 to your swing for any ray spell, which includes like spells like Snowball. And it gives you something else like Spell Pen or something shit I can't remember. But point is, if you combine all 3 of those things, the necklace, the robe, and this hat, any cold spell you cast does 3 extra points of damage per die. Now think about that Snowball spell we just talked about. That's normally 5d6 of damage. With those 3 items on, that would be 5d6 plus 15. So a minimum of 20. Maximum, what is it, 30 plus 15, so 45. Single target, can be sneak attack, so you can get sneak attack cold damage on that as well. Unless there is a save, but the save has nothing to do with damage. Has everything to do with whether they're staggered or not. So you're going to hit, you're going to do the damage. Now, yeah, there's immune to cold and blah, blah, blah. But if that's not an issue, this is amazing. Now take that same level 1 spell and intensify it. Whether it's a meta magic rod, your own meta magic that's bumping it up a level, so it's a level 2 spell now, and there's ways around that too. But let's just say it's a level 2 casting of it. It's an intensified version, okay? That's 10d6 of damage, best case scenario. And now that 10d6 is 10d6 plus 30, because it's 3 points per die. That's 10 die. So that's 30 extra damage. So that snowball level 2 spell, single target, can do a minimum of 40, maximum of 90 to a target. And it can crit, of course, too, and therefore double that damage range, which is pretty damn sick. And of course, it can get sneak attack damage as well. That's a solid level 1 or level 2 spell, is my point. That's why these are really nice pieces of gear. If you went even further, there is one other way you can make this even more damage. Well, two, technically, but it's kind of a cheat. The one way you can do it for sure is, remember how Reg is an electric dragon type? Electric dragon types get an extra point of damage to their electric spells. Well, there's cold dragon types too. So if your character, like you made a mercenary, or your main character was a magus, Elder Scion Magus to be specific, or a sorcerer that literally picked the Draconic bloodline as a cold type of dragon, that's like a white dragon or a silver dragon, I want to say. Maybe there's another one in there, but I think it's just those two. Anyway, if you pick one of those cold dragon types, any spell you do by default gets +1 damage per die. So now imagine having that cold dragon type character with the hat, with this, and with the robes we talked about, and going around doing 1, 2, 3, plus another one for being the cold dragon type. So 4 points of damage per die for a spell as common as Snowball. Again, even the lowest version of Snowball at 5d6 would be doing 5d6 plus 20 as a level 1 spell. That shit's power, is what I'm saying. And there's ways to do this for fire, there's ways to do this for cold, as well as electric, as well as acid. We will do the electric one for him. He will get a cloak, is part of his quest. He has the ability to wear the necklace, as well as the robes. We probably wouldn't, but we could. And he's a electric dragon type. So with the cloak, the necklace, the robes, and being an electric dragon type, any of his electric spells would do 4 extra damage per die. Remember, he does shocking grass through his weapon. That's 5d6 normally. So again, 5d6 plus 20, best case scenario. And again, if he intensifies that shit, that could be 10d6 of extra damage per his swing with his scimitar, plus 40 more. So that's a minimum of 50, a maximum of 100, and then if you take either of those numbers, whatever he gets, and he happens to crit with his weapon, which he's really good at critting with, that would be double. So best case scenario, that could literally be like 200 damage on a swing of just the electric damage. You see what we did there? There's another one for acid. Now, sadly, there's not as many upgrades for acid. Well, I take that back. There's 3. Plus, yeah, you could be an acid dragon type. You could still wear the necklace. You could still wear the robes. Instead of a headpiece or a cloak, it's a ring. Matter of fact, I wonder if I got that ring. No, I got the acid immunity one. I thought I got it, though. Let me just check. Sorry, guys. It bugs me when I think I have stuff and I don't know that for a fact. Maybe I put it on one of these guys. No. Nope. Okay. But for the acid one, there's a ring. And that's all the ring does. It's a +1 to all your acid spells damage per die. There's not very many, but there's some really good acid spells late in the game that are solid damage. Then the necklace, then the robes, and then being an acid dragon, either sorcerer or Elder Scion, that could be 4 extra damage per die. And while acid splash, that's 1 die, so it's 1d3 plus 4, so that's lame. But and you could say the same for acid arrow. It's only 2d4 of damage, so it's 2 dice, right? So it'd be 2d4 plus 8. Ooh, ring-a-ding-ding. But still nice. And again, remember, 2d4 plus 8 really is a minimum then of 10, a maximum of 16 per tick on that acid arrow. And again, it's not amazing, but it's cool. But now think about those other acid spells at the high levels. Acidic Spray, Caustic Eruption, I think is what it's called. And of course Acid Fog, which is, again, is not amazing, but again, more damage per tick is the point here. And that Acidic Spray alone, that's 15d6 of damage. That's 15d6 plus, what is that, 60? 60, yeah. So 15d6 plus 60 damage for that Acidic Spray. And that one ticks twice if they fail their save. Remember, it hits them the first time for full strength, and then half strength after that. And I think the bonus would apply to that one too, because it's another 7d6 of damage. So it'd be 76 plus 7, 7, and 7, and 7. So 28. That's some huge damage. And then you do the Caustic Eruption one. Now, oh my god. That bastard does 20d6 of damage. So with all those 3 items plus being an Acid Dragon, you could be 20d6 plus 80. And that's AoE, centered on you. You're immune to the effect. And just make sure your team's not near you, because you're going to melt their faces off and just explode for all kinds of damage. Minimum damage of 100. Now, yes, on almost all of those spells that we're talking about here, there's reflex saves. The exception to the rule on that I can think of is there's a couple. One, Snowball is not a reflex save. It is a fortitude save, and it has nothing to do with the damage. So if you hit them, they're going to take the damage. Then, if we talked about fire, and yes, there's a way to make fire awesome. You get the necklace, you get the robes, you make yourself a fire dragon type, and instead of any of this other gear that buffs fire damage, there's none. There is a rod of Flaming Vengeance that buffs your fire damage by 1, I think. And as such, that's another 1, 2, 3, 4 for your fire spells. And again, there's a lot of fire spells. But there is at least one fire spell that's not a reflex save, and that's Sirocco. That little bastard doesn't do a lot of damage, but again, it's like 2d6 plus 20 at best level, because it gets the extra 20 based on caster levels. Those aren't dice. That's just extra 20. The 2d6, that's the dice. So again, wearing the best gear, it'd only be, what, 2d6 plus 20 plus another 8? Still, 28 plus 2 is the minimum, so a minimum of 30 damage, and a maximum would be over that. Solid damage is my point. And again, I love when I can find gear like this, and the fact that they come from our vendors is freaking awesome. Just saying.